Hey, Eurovision fam, it's Alicia Michelle, and the Ladies' Choice Eurovision live stream is back. We're back, and it is officially Eurovision month. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm super geeked. Today, we're going to be talking about all things the Big Five and the Netherlands. That is what we're talking about today. But before we get into that, if you haven't been here before, okay, subscribe. I'm Alicia Michelle, your favorite American Eurovision fan. At least I'm trying to become that. I'm working hard. I'm working overtime. I don't know. But that's me. And so let's go around to who's right next to me here.
Hi, that's me. Hi, I'm Isanne. I'm a Eurovision lover. Been involved with the Eurovision Song Contest a few years ago, and I'm a songwriter. And perhaps you heard about the article that I wrote last year about Eurovision or Black Lives Matter. And so the Eurovision artists, Black artists as well. So that's me. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. Let's talk about the Big Five in the Netherlands.
Okay. Hi, I'm Viv. I'm from Norway. Eurovision journalist. Been traveling to Eurovision since it was in Oslo. And you can find me over at ESC Extra, where I share my opinions on everything Eurovision. And I cannot wait to talk about the Big Five today because it's the best Big Five we've had for a long time. At least I think so. What about you, Sam?
We're all just like, I have no idea what direction is up anymore. Hello, everybody from Minneapolis. My name is Samantha Ross. I am probably best known for my work with ESCinsight.com, but I'm also the co-creator of the American-focused 12 Points from America podcast, so search us out. I've also had a number of other roles at the contest over the years. For 2 years, I was the assistant head of press for the Bulgarian delegation, and I also had 2 years under my belt with the EBU itself, working at Junior Eurovision, which brought me to Malta, and I would love to go again, so, just hint, hint, hint. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Malta. We're here to talk about all of our automatic qualifiers. So
we just might, though.
Maybe.
Yeah, Malta just might naturally come up. I have to say, if I'm not going to be your favorite American Eurovision fan, I'm okay with acquiescing that title to Sam.
No.
Totally fine.
Why can't we share? Just be co-rulers. Like, you get the video side, I'll do the audio side, and we'll be the queens of media that way.
Yes. Okay, but let's talk about the Big Five. And honestly, Viv, I agree with you. I think just talking about it as a whole, I think that this is one of the strongest servings from, I think, our automatic qualifiers. Honestly, I think none of these songs is like lacking in quality, personally. And I think they all have a very distinct and interesting lane that they're sort of operating in. But I'm really loving what the Big Five and the Netherlands are serving this year as a whole, honestly. What do you think, Isanne?
Oh, I love it. There might be one country that I'm not all too happy about, but the other ones, yeah. I mean, France. I mean, love it.
Class.
UK. I mean, Italy is a bit different, but it's growing on me. Spain, Germany, yeah. Different.
Yeah, Sam, what are you thinking? How do you feel about the whole? What do you think about the whole of what we're getting from our automatic qualifiers this year?
I feel like there have been many years where you feel like the automatic qualifiers just kind of coast. And it's like, oh, we don't have to put the work in. I feel like they really put the work in this year. And I'm not sure if it's just like the energy of concentrated like 2 years in one for a couple of the artists, but I think that there's just a lot of quality in this year. And even if you don't love all the songs, you can appreciate the differences, you can appreciate the joy, you can appreciate the craft. There's always trust me, we're going to talk about Germany. It's going to be divisive, but there are aspects of it, even if you think the song is irritating, yeah, it's still fun. So there's something to love.
Yeah, let's kick off and talk about Germany a little bit. Let's just kick off with Germany, since that's like our segue. I will tell you, I think I did a video at the beginning, pre-Eurovision season, and it was basically like Dear the Big Five minus Italy. And it was essentially, kind of telling the rest of the countries other than Italy, like, y'all need to get it together. And one of the biggest things that I said towards Germany was, I think Germany has this really interesting music scene. And I feel like I've not seen any of it on the Eurovision stage. And at least with Jendrik, I feel like it's a risk. I feel like they're not playing it safe. And I think for so many years they played it safe, with the exception of Michael Schulte, who I do feel like gave a song that was just so authentic, and was such a strong story. But honestly, I don't feel hate. I'm not going to say that it's my favorite song this year, because it's not. It's not my favorite song, but at least I feel like it's a risk. It's not trying to coast, and it's just doing it in some way. I'm happy with what Germany is serving, because at least it's not something safe. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like it or not, it's hard to fight the fact that it's fun. It might be annoying, but it's fun. It's not my favorite, but I really, really like it. And it makes me smile every time. And it's so fun because kids love it. I'm a teacher. I teach 6th grade, and the kids absolutely adore it. And I agree. It's something very different and very not safe from Germany this year. I can't wait to see how it actually will do on the night. He seems to be a really good live performer as well, from what little I've heard of him. So yeah, kudos to Germany for this.
Yeah. I think the worst thing that a song at Eurovision can be is safe and boring, which unfortunately has been the curse of Germany and a number of other countries over the years. We saw it with Sisters. It might not have been the worst song altogether, but when you're everybody's 11th or 15th favorite song, you're not going to get points. And that's how the I'm sorry, 0 points kind of thing comes up. This is not a song that's going to leave people flat. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. It's fun. I get curled up in it. It's infectious, and I hate to use a term like infectious at any point in the last year and a half, but it really, really is. Somebody had commented, Germany has a stage song, not a radio-friendly song, and that's fine. And I think it's almost the exact opposite of what we saw from Germany last year, which was a great song. Violent Thing from Ben Dolic was a great radio-friendly song, but it wasn't. He didn't have a ton of pop of personality in the bits and pieces that we saw from him live. We're getting the exact opposite from Jendrik. It's not going to be the song that you hear on your local radio station, but he is going to really, really bring it in person. My 2 cents.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say something about this song. It's just I appreciate, or I admire the way how he got selected and everything, or how he came to this Eurovision stage, because I do like his story and how he made it so far. But the song is just, for me, it's just, it's a little bit annoying. That's just what it is. But for me, but I'm happy other people like it, and especially for kids, it probably will work out well.
Yeah,
it's just not my cup of tea.
To me, I think the song is just fun. And I think so much of Eurovision is fun. And I think even sometimes us in the Eurovision bubble can take it too seriously.
Yeah.
And then we take it so seriously that we forget about the aspect of fun. And ultimately, it should feel fun. Nothing should feel too, try hard. Because I think sometimes that can work to a song's disadvantage when it's almost like too serious and like too arty. And it's like, okay, come on, like, it's music. It is supposed to be feeling, and there should be an ease to it. And when I watch like Project Runway, they'll always talk about designers that tend to overwork a dress or a garment. And it's like, it is fashion. It should be fun. It should still feel like ease. So I would say that about music, that we should keep that in mind. All right, let's move on and talk about Spain. What are y'all thinking of the song that Spain is serving this year?
I like him. I worry that the song isn't a good enough vehicle for Blas's voice. This one just kind of, I enjoy it. It's pretty in the moment. I could tell that it's coming from a super, super honest and heartfelt place, but it just kind of fades in the background for me after the song is done. And what I'm talking about before about a song being safe, this is probably the safest out of all of this year's automatic qualifier entries. And it's a shame because I like him a lot, but the song is just kind of there for me.
Is it too cheesy for you?
Maybe a little bit. It's cheesy wouldn't be the word that I would use. It just sort of, trite isn't the word I want to use, but it's just kind of there and thereabouts. I've seen better from him and I've seen better from Spain, and it breaks my heart.
I'm thinking it's maybe the wrong place for it. It's very much not a competitive song. I don't think it's the right thing for the contest. It doesn't make enough of an impact to make people actually pick up their phone and vote for it. I think it's kind of too slow. I mean, I really, really like it as a song. I can listen to it, and I do. But I don't think it's going to make an impression. It doesn't have enough of an impact on the big stage, I think.
Agreed.
And it's a shame because he's really good.
Yeah, I just love the song. I'm not sure how he's going to do live, but on stage, but I just love it. It's so cheesy, it's passionate, it has everything that I want in a Spanish song. So I'm actually very happy about it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
The thing that I fear from this song is ultimately it does feel like it might not be right for Eurovision in a competitive sense. I think that it is a fine studio cut track that would make sense on an album. And I mean, he is obviously going to deliver it very well on stage. And I also want to say something because I did put it in my It's a Skip video. And really it is a skip for me. I'm just not in that headspace where I want to listen to it. I just need some levity, and the song doesn't really give me that like levity. I also don't speak Spanish. So maybe that also is probably a little bit of a barrier to it. And although I know what the song is about, I do think ultimately I expect this actually to be probably the lowest of the big five this year.
Very likely.
Yeah.
I think saying that is not hate. I just think realistically looking at where we're at, I don't even think playing in the second half would help this.
Oh, I may have lost you in the last bit of that sentence there, Alicia.
Oh no, I went on mute.
Oh, that'll do it.
I basically said I don't even think that playing in the second half would help this song. It almost even might hurt it more to bury it.
Yeah, I think that I also think about how is this going to be staged, and I worry that if you put too many bells and whistles on it, it'll feel forced. But if you strip it back to the subtlety that the song I think kind of needs, it'll be too subtle. And it's in this very sort of uncomfortable little in-between spot where if you try to, put the bells and whistles on, it's going to look fake. But if you try to let the song stand on its own emotional merits, it won't be impactful enough. It's a weird little juxtaposition there. And I mean, sorry. Lo siento, Blas. Perdóname.
Well, I want to kind of transition and move from Spain and actually talk about the Netherlands. So how are y'all feeling with the Netherlands and where the Netherlands will place? And I will kick off with Izana since you are from the Netherlands. So I will let you start this off.
Yeah, man, this song makes me happy. I know people say it's not gonna do well. If I'm honest, I think a lot of people won't understand the song. They probably won't understand it, and maybe they. But for me, it just works. For me, it works, and for a lot of people, it does. And maybe if they just know what a song is about, they just. I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna do better than people think it will.
I think that it has the blessing of being a very personal story.
Yeah.
And it coming from a place of such honesty. But at the same time, the message is still very universal, even though it obviously has a very, very Surinamese Dutch touchstone there. Yeah. But I think that it's something, it's a message and a song that can be carried through any population, any community that has felt any sort of struggle. I could see, Man Brokomi as
I love when you say it.
Am I pronouncing it right? Like I don't speak Spanish at all.
You are.
But it's just it's honest and it's real and it's relevant. And honestly, me living in Minneapolis, I'm seeing. I'm not going to get into things, but those who know me and know where I'm coming from. But this could be used as a rallying cry for. Surinamese Dutch, African American people, wherever you are. If this is universal, even though it is so personal and so local, and I love it for that, and I love him. He's just engaging. He's just
I have to come into the piggyback of this because I've seen other people sort of applying certain things, certain messages to songs that I'm telling you the message of that song is not what you are applying. This is the song that has the message that you want to come through. I mean, you cannot break me. You will not break me. Mm-hmm. That is the message. Yeah. And I feel like when the beat drops in the song, I really hope that they stage it in a way where it is that explosion of culture and feeling, and it becomes the celebration and rallying cry that it truly is. This is a really, really good song. I do think that it is being slightly underrated, but typically host country songs are.
Okay.
So, some people trying to make a narrative, it's like typically host country songs are. It's so good. I want to see this do well. It doesn't need to win, and it doesn't need to come top 10.
Right.
But for me, for this to come bottom 5, I would take issue with.
Yeah, I would flip tables.
Oof,
I would flip tables.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that. I'm not prepared. I'm not going to prepare for that at all.
No.
I don't think there's any risk that it will finish bottom 5. It's a great song. He's an amazing singer and an amazing performer. I think he's got everything that it takes to actually get the message across. Mm-hmm. I probably liked his song last year even more, but this year he's still one of my favorites. And I mean, this is storytelling on a completely different level than we have seen for I don't know how long, almost if ever. Yeah. So I mean, this is moving and touching and art, and it is amazing. I think this is possibly the best host entry we've seen since Düsseldorf.
Well, Taken by a Stranger is personally love it. Yeah. But
yes, no, I completely agree. When I go back to host country, Germany, Taken by a Stranger to me is the last one that I'm like, y'all could have low-key won again.
I'm still a sucker for Ujardin, but I know that I feel like I'm the only one.
Oh, I love
just
it.
my-
but
No,
it's not a
I
winner.
loved Au Jardin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Voters didn't.
yeah, they didn't, but I did like that song. Yeah.
But I mean, I think that, and I'm not saying that this is going to do the double, but for me, the sort of local personal story that still has global resonance, I see shades of 1944.
Yeah.
The fact that if you'd taken out the
Exactly.
Crimean
Yeah.
Tatar and put in Armenian or Yiddish or
Yeah.
or Sranantongo, it could have worked. It's still a very personal story with a very, very global and very universal vibe and message that needed to be heard. So I honor this song. Just love it, love him.
Yes. All right. So let's transition because another song that I think is a deeply personal track, and let's transition to France. How are y'all feeling about France's entry?
Oh mon
Love
dieu!
it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
J'adore, j'adore, j'adore. It feels like just a warm cup of cafe au lait and a croissant. I just feel warm and held, but at the same time energized and being brought along in her story. It's so honest and vulnerable and real. Mon Dieu. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite by a mile. She's amazing. I mean, from the moment she opened her mouth in the national final, I was like, this has to win. This has to win. This has to win everything.
Ding.
Yeah. And I mean, she seems so genuine.
Yeah.
And her song feels so genuine.
Yes.
And of all the songs that have like touches of sort of national culture, this is the one that stands out to me. This is just so French. I've been comparing it to sort of, I mean, it doesn't really resemble any of them, but if you put Edith Piaf and Alma, and suddenly my brain went blank. Patricia Cass in a pot, and you just went like this. This is the beauty that would come out of it.
It's rare for a song to seem so classic and yet not feel dated. And I love that about this song. And I got a little bit of that vibe from Amar Pelos Deutsch as well, that it was super timeless and yet not like, okay, you're obviously just trying to do a throwback. I was like, no, it's real. It's genuine.
Somehow this song reminds me of the movie Amélie. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but and I love that movie too. I just love anything that's just vulnerable and honest and pure and just, man, I already got emotional just talking about this song. It's just so beautiful.
And I mean, it's so simple.
I would love for France to win too, but yeah.
Not gonna lie, I actually cried during the national final. I actually genuinely cried during the national final, and I'm normally kind of okay. I'm not that stoic, but I actually, like, my boyfriend walked in like right as her song was wrapping up. He's like, "Oh my god, are you?" He's like, "No, it's just so beautiful."
I will say, for me with France and Spain, it's kind of an interesting comparison for me because I do understand French. But what I would say though is even people who don't understand or speak French, I think they feel and have the ability to connect with the song. And I do believe that I think with France, we've seen her deliver it live, which even with Blas Canto, we had that national final. I think if you kind of compare those live performances, I think it is so clear what Barbara is kind of singing about. Even if you don't understand French, you can really kind of follow along with what she's doing. And I think if we compare sort of Spain and France, because they're both, I think, personal, sentimental tracks, but for some reason, I think France is kind of pushing forward in a way because I think people are just getting it more. I don't completely know why. And And the only thing I can boil it down to is the delivery and the performance and just the song itself.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably some intangible things in there, but the only difference really is the song and the performer.
Yeah. And with France, every single lyric is just every sentence, every line is just so beautiful. I just look at one of those lines saying, "Look at me before I hate myself." It's just
like,
if you boom, it's just wow.
Yeah. And that desperate cry, and this is the sort of French that we pick up at Eurovision. Ne battez pas. That single, which, those of us, it's like, okay, we know that word, we know that phrase. It just don't leave, and that sort of here I am, don't leave. It's
Yes.
there. It's very, very. I'm sure she wasn't thinking about Ne battez pas sans moi when she was writing the song, but like, it's just very smart for her to use repeated words that are sort of universal, like voilà, voilà, voilà. Here I am, here I am, here I am. It's repetitive, but it sticks in your brain and it helps you connect because you probably know what that word means. Yeah, and it just it's well thought of, but it's not in a calculating sense. It still feels very natural.
True.
I have to say, I was nervous. Ooh, sorry. I was just going to say, I was nervous about France sending this in the national selection because I was not confident that like the Euro bubble and that Europe would support it. So I'm glad to see it happening because I loved it in the national selection, but I was like, y'all aren't going to vote for it. So maybe they need to send Alleluia or something else that maybe y'all will latch on to.
That entire national final was a surprise. First is the fact that I feel like Alleluia wasn't even in that top grouping. Like it didn't even get out of that first round of voting. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a wild card. But they ended up going with the song that was basically the favorite, sung by the singer-songwriter that had given France a very recent junior Eurovision victory. And again, I feel like I've said this before on previous either shows with you folks or shows on Insight or 12 Points. The fact that this song came from the same brain that gave us Bim Bam Toi and J'imagine. Like, seriously, y'all. I mean, not to say that she has to write the same kind of song all the time, but to come up with the bright and sunny Lisa Frank nightmare, Lisa Frank dream that was J'imagine, and the TikTok wonder of Bim Bam Toi to this.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, je t'aime.
Love it. You should live in Paris, Samantha, or anywhere in France.
Don't have to twist my arm. Get me a glass of wine and a nice little sidewalk cafe. Yeah, s'il vous plaît.
I'll be there.
I'll get a pull-out couch. Okay.
I think what is maybe the most special thing about this song for me is that it is so simple and so impactful. It feels so effortless, and it's everything.
Yeah. And the music is supporting her voice. It's also something that when I listen to the song, her voice is so important. It's so, but the music supports it. It's not that she is, you know what I mean? So it's not that she is supporting the music, but the music, the instruments are supporting her voice, and I like that.
And also, I saw someone in the chat just saying that it could have. I mean, it's old-fashioned because it could have been from 1963, and I'm like, no, it's not old-fashioned. It's classic.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Some things
It's
just never go out of
timeless.
style. Yeah. Some things just don't go out of style.
Yeah.
No, the entry is truly timeless, and we're gonna stop gushing over France.
Okay,
and we're gonna pivot.
Do we have to?
And so, right? And so we're gonna pivot and talk about Italy. Måneskin, they were definitely one of the favorites coming out of Sanremo. Everyone was talking about them, huge online. I think they're part of that group of folks like most played artists from Eurovision 2021 on Spotify. How are y'all feeling about Italy's entry this year?
Love it almost as much as I love it almost as much as I love France. Almost. Sometimes when I listen to them sort of back to back, I go like, do I like Italy more? But I don't. But it's an amazing song. They are so good live. And the fact that Italy sends this makes me just want to do backflips if I could. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I basically have France and Italy tied for my number one, just because sometimes a girl wants chocolate and sometimes a girl wants a hamburger. Like they scratch very different itches for me. I love them both. I realize some people aren't going to go for rock, but this song just grabs me by the throat and just does things to me, like in a very consensual way. It's just ballsy, and it takes no prisoners, and it's just, take us as we are, and it's glam, and it's energetic, and it's gutsy, and it's a song that we don't normally. It's like, I'm trying to think the last time that we've had really good glam rock. Have we? I mean, Wigwam, different, very, very different. But I love this so much. It's probably somewhat closer to what I normally listen to outside of Eurovision. So I guess it resonates with me in that way. But to see the same country that has given us, Rafael Gualazzi and Soldi give us this, it just shows you the depth and the breadth of the Italian music scene, and why Sanremo is my favorite national final. Sorry, Estilal, you've been knocked off. It just, I just love this so much. Somebody else talk, because I'm
not too sure. Yeah. Well, I'm happy that you like it that much. The thing is, for me, I always expect Italy to, deliver a type of song, like it almost has a whole kind of, I wouldn't. I just did not expect this, and
fair,
and I still have to process it. Because I always love Italy, and it's not that I don't like rock music. I love the young Giorgio Lolitas. Okay, but
oh yes,
also was part of the delegation at Europe. Okay, but no, seriously, I like that song. But this song it's growing on me. But I just want something different from Italy. Does it make sense? In a way.
I feel like I've got to hop in here. Because I saw a couple of comments where people were talking about how Italy was not a winner. And I take deep issue with that. Because I want to remind folks that this is not the Eurovision Pop Music Song Contest. This is the Eurovision Song Contest. Not only are we overdue for a rock win, there have been some amazing rock entries that have hit the Eurovision stage that have not won. And I'm not saying that like we needed to trade out a winner or something like that. That's not what I'm saying. But this song is great. There's a reason why it's in the top 5 of the betting odds right now. So people talking about how it's not a winner, like, check it. Okay, just check it right quick. Yeah. Because it's in the top 5 of the betting odds right now. And real talk,
where it should be.
Where it should be. Where it belongs to be. Because honestly, the juries have been playing Italy for years. Because Italy has probably been due a win for a while. And they've come with some things that honestly could have won.
2011?
Yeah, I mean, they've come with some things that could have won. And I'm just a little bit sick of it, and I'm a little bit tired. And now they've sent us something that to me is more than deserving of a win. And I think that people are sleeping on it a little bit because it's been a while since we saw Sanremo. And I think once these rehearsals come out and the footage and the videos and the imagery comes out from it, people will be reminded that this is deserving of a win. And I'm not going to say that because I think France and Italy are so different, but I definitely listened to Italy's track more than I listened to France's entry. For me personally, I listened to Italy's track more than I listened to France. But I think they're too different for me to be like, oh, it's better than. Like, it's really apples and oranges.
Yeah. Like I said, they scratch very different itches. They are so different. Like I don't really look at my number counts or anything like that. I go by what gets stuck in my head a little bit more often, just because I don't always have access to my music. And for me, this just sticks, and it's immediately impactful. which goes a long, long way in this contest. Like, you do not forget Italy, nor do you forget France. And I'm not comparing X or Y, but between the song itself, and you can bet they are going to absolutely sell the hell out of this live, even if they're not able to play their own instruments live, which is still such a heartbreaker for me. But we'll talk about that. We can talk about that on a different show. They're not going to half-ass this. They're going to come out with the same guns blazing that they did at Sanremo. And
oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now, so we got to pivot now and move along to the UK. Oh, wait, or Wiv, did you want to talk about Italy?
No.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what Sam said about I am a rock chick at heart. All my favorite music is rock, and a lot of the rock that's been at Eurovision has been what I called Schlager rock. It's like if you took the drums away and the guitars away and slowed it down a bit, it could be pretty standard Schlager.
Oh, Hard Rock Hallelujah, absolutely.
Which is fine. But I mean, this is rock. True. There is no Schlager about this. This is pure rock. And I love it. I've loved it since the first time I heard it. And I also love just about everything else they've done. And they're just so good live. I cannot wait to see what Europe makes of this.
Yes, I'm excited, and I'm curious to see how it winds up on the scoreboard, especially because I think we forget too, in years that are open where there's lots of splitting of the votes and whatnot, we can end up with an unexpected winner. And I think we could this year end up with an unexpected winner. And I am hoping that unexpected winner is serving us a song of quality and not some safe pop song that we have heard before. Moving along to the UK. Light up the room. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, what are y'all feeling with the UK?
Finally. That's the first word that's coming to my mind. Finally. Oh man, this song is just good. This is just some good pop music, and I love it. Period. And it's been a long time since we heard something like this from the UK. Have we ever had something like this from the UK?
Ooh, like in terms of a radio-friendly, modern, it could stand on its own on the charts and yet still do well at Eurovision. Because I feel like BBC Eurovision songs are very, very different from BBC radio songs.
Yes, it is.
So it's nice to see the crossover. Yeah, maybe Blue.
Yeah, I agree with the Blue. Yeah, maybe Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a long time ago. That's been
2011.
Long time ago.
It's 10 years. It's 10 years. So I'm super happy about this. And I can't wait for, and I wonder how do you think it will do?
I want to see a top 15. I really do. I really want to see a top 15. I would love to see a top 10. Because I will tell you, this song is probably in my personal top 10. I think it is. The amount of times that I have listened to it, I love his vocal tone. It feels very now. It feels very in the moment. And then it's a pop song. It's a pop dance track that still has lyrical depth. Out of the embers, we're going to light up the room. Looking at the ashes, there's something glowing. Okay. I mean, it's not like some simple pop song, in my opinion.
It's the song that 2021 kind of needs. It fully acknowledges the hell that we have all been through in the past year, and that many of us are still very much going through. But at the same time, it's still so uplifting and so joyous.
Yeah, this is fun too. This is fun too. You see, you were talking about Germany, but this is fun too. This is the kind of fun I like.
It's a different fun. It's different fun. There are multiple different kinds of fun. But yeah, for me, it's honest, it's real, it's relatable. He is relatable.
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't want to bring it down to the sort of visual aspect of an individual person, but the fact that you can have like your pop stars who are like chiseled and good looking and like
Yeah.
23, and like you could tell that somebody has a poster of them in their bedroom, and it's like, and like James is like us. He's in his mid-30s. He's human. Like he's sitting at home living his life. He's got his rabbits. So like it's he's relatable. And I in the same way that I like Leslie Roy, in the same way. Maybe I'm just gravitating towards artists in their 30s, but like it's like he's just it's real. And it's like I feel like you are like my next door neighbor from college. Like singing a really solid pop song that I could totally get behind. So like I find this super comfortable. This is like putting on a good pair of jeans. Like this just fits. This just works for me. It's fun. I feel good listening to this. That's all you need.
I think I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've gotten used to the UK sending less than excellent entries, but I did not expect the UK to send a song that's catchy. I mean, I think that's the first word I think of when I listen to this song. It's catchy.
Yeah.
You can dance along to it. You can sing along to it. It's very sing-along friendly. And I think that's something that can grab the attention of the viewers. It's impossible to sit still. It's like the minute it comes on, you go like,
yeah.
And that's the feeling that makes you pick up the phone and actually vote for something.
Yeah.
I still don't see it as a winner, but it's definitely going to give the UK the best result they've had probably since Blue.
Yeah, Blue or
Lucy.
Lucy, yeah.
Yeah.
Which honestly, like being on the correct side of
her.
which is such a shame because she's so good.
Yeah.
And she's had a great career after the contest too, so good on her. But I feel like any either, left-hand side of the scoreboard result for the UK would be a victory because they've been either underrated or underperforming or underserving for the last couple of years. And I think that the trajectory that they've been on with this BMG contract that they're working with, I think this would be some very good positive reinforcement saying, okay, you're on the right track here. Even if this wasn't the song to take the trophy, you're doing the right thing by getting an honest singer-songwriter to give something credible to the world representing the UK. So even if this doesn't win,
No,
keep the tactic
absolutely.
going.
I completely agree. I think that this is really putting the UK on a nice pathway. I hope that Europe rewards this pathway that they're on because they are making an effort with this. To me, it is credible. And that is what we think about the Big Five plus the Netherlands. We talked about, now, does anyone, let's just do one once over and maybe say, like maybe your favorite, like the country that you want to see do the best, and then the song you're listening to the most. And I'll kick off. Honestly, for me, not just for just this country, what they've done in the past and what they're serving this year, for me, and as much as I love some of the other entries, and to me, out of this pack, I want to see Italy do the best out of the pack personally. Just because of, I think, for a holistic reason that I kind of talked about before. But the song I'm probably listening to the most is the UK. Light up the room. Hey, yes. All right, I'm going to pass it to Viv.
Okay. The song I listen to the most is France. I think it's on every single playlist I have going right now. So no matter what mood I'm in, it ends up somewhere on my playlist. I think I agree with you, though. It is about time that Italy gets a win. They should probably have won at least 3 times since returning. So, and I mean, this is so different. It's unexpected from them. It's good. So yeah, I would be ecstatic if Italy won, or France.
Yeah. For me, Italy and France just keep kind of bouncing between the two. And like I said, they're so different. It's so hard to compare apples and apples here. it's just, they both hit me emotionally in very, very, very different ways. As does the Netherlands, frankly, in another very, very, very different way. And the one that I probably listen to the most / gets stuck in my head the most is probably Italy. Who do I want to win? Oh gosh, that's really,
or not win, but do the best. That's
Do
what
the
I'm
best.
saying.
Okay,
So like
okay.
of
But the
this
thing is-
bunch, do the best.
but the fact is, like, in this group, there are a handful that could potentially win, which is something so
Absolutely.
beautifully rare for the
Absolutely.
automatic qualifiers. Do the best. I maybe possibly Italy, just because I would love to see more countries take that risk of sending something a little bit different from what people expect. And I love the fact that Italy has sent such a diverse catalog of genres. But something like this, like real authentic rock, I feel like some Eurovision fans need to realize that not all Eurovision rock is Lordi. And the shoe does not all, the shoe doesn't fit all. So for the sake of education.
So for me, I've been listening to UK, and I love the UK. So I've been listening to UK a lot, and it just, even when I'm just sad, it just makes me just happy. So when I'm sad, I just love to play this song, and but I want to see the Netherlands do well. Yeah, I want to see Shangu do well, the song do well. So that's it.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much for joining me for this Ladies' Choice Eurovision live stream. It is officially Eurovision month. I think I'm still in a haze. I can't believe that we are going to have a winner this month. We will know who is hosting Eurovision next year this month. It's crazy. I am excited. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe for more content. I am accredited, so I'll be bringing you all of that stuff. And yeah, thank y'all ladies for joining me so much, for lending your time, your words, your thoughts, and just your voices in this space and community. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. It's